Purchase your beats now. Kano on the track. 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 Kano on the track.
Alright, I guess basically some of it, okay, haven't actually complete yet, haven't get any details there, okay, can add a bit more further on those details. Some highlight a little bit, right? This one doesn't have any shadows yet. Try to blend it up there, guys, okay? This one look okay, but the shadows for those, the shading from the crumple, kind of what we call that, close can be improved a bit more further there, right? Huh? Check back again those references there, we go. Okay? The crumple of the shadows there, okay? It can be used a bit kind of, you can use basically, okay, a bit kind of what we call that, a very huge kind of brushes there to blend with the shadings there, right? Check back again those references. Alright, this one there, right? My kind of what we call that commander, okay? The background is look more obvious than your kind of illustrations over here. Alright, so the illustrations, even though you want to blend the background with the characters itself using basically this Ghibli Studio kind of style there, right? But make sure your characters are going to be more focused rather than those background, because the mark will be given based from your characters, not your background. The background only a sub element there. Right now what I saw basically, they blend it up together and we cannot focus on the characters itself there, okay? We can actually enjoying basically your kind of hard work when you can develop this kind of illustrations there, because the background distract basically your main focus for your characters, okay? So try to add a bit kind of blur effect on this background because we don't want to make some distraction from there. Alright, this one basically, okay, even though we saw basically Xingqing there, right? Okay, Jingyi there, okay, is it? Yeah, Jingyi there, right? So the characters basically is almost look the same as the cartoon styles that we actually seen before, the wing scallop there, right? Okay, so hopefully you have that kind of process of working that you change from your face into these cartoon styles there, okay? Because we don't want to make those kind of distractions between the original one with your kind of design there, right? Okay, this one look great. We can actually add a bit more details there later on there. Okay, this one haven't complete yet. Okay, hopefully you can add more details from there, right? This one looks great there, okay, because we can see basically the hard works that we produce from this kind of illustrations over here. This one, right, okay, two simples there, okay, for those techniques there, right? Okay, from Kang Jun. Make sure it's with it, okay, make it more interesting, because 40% of marks will be given based on your kind of techniques. Okay, based on the techniques there. This one looks a bit more hard works there, okay, on shadings. Try to add a bit more kind of highlight a little bit, right? Highlight a little bit. Okay, the fire effects. If you don't use basically, this is a cloth of fire effects, right? I don't know that, right? Okay? If you're using a fire effects there, okay, make sure basically you erase basically those kind of outline there, because the outline looks a bit more contrast than your rendering kind of shadings there. I think this is not finished yet, alright? Okay, it's not complete yet. What happened to the neck there, right? Looks weird a bit. The neck there, okay? The collar neck there, okay? So it look weird a bit there, right? Alright, so far everything look fine there, okay? Okay, check back again, okay? I already send you guys, okay, some samples how to draw those, what we call that waters effects there. Okay? One of the way that we actually can develop them is from, okay, let's just say that, right? I want to create some water effects there, see? Oops. Okay, take a look there, guys. Okay, without tracing other people's works here. See? Adjust the colors a bit. And then we actually can use also some shadows from these effects there, right? I can copy and paste. Copy and paste. Right? This one, and multiply them. See? So what I can do also from here, brush tools. I can withdraw those kind of effects there, right? See? One of the way, but not the only way there, guys, okay, that works. But you must be able to have that kind of understanding that how to work with those kind of water effects there, right? One of the way there, the more fastest way that you work. Okay? And from here, if I want to duplicate, I can use also some effects, filters, blur. Maybe we're going to use what we call that Gaussian blur effects there. See, Gaussian blur effects there, right? See, this is without Gaussian blur. This is using Gaussian blur there, right? They can mix them up together there. One of the way, not the only way that to work with it, guys. Okay. Anyone else there want to share screen sharing directly? The first step, basically, I'm using lasso tools. Okay, lasso tools there, okay? So how actually it works here? So you have to know basically the formation of those energy there, okay? So what I'm going to do, okay, either you actually can sketch it out first. I'm actually using my imagination there, but you're going to use basically your sketch ideas there, okay? You must be able to sketch those kind of effects there, right? Alright? For example here, there, right? For examples over here. So the formations have to be flowing over to the structures that you're going to paint. Okay, from here, when I actually have those formations, I'm using lasso tools. So from these lasso tools, I will create basically those kind of, the contour kind of formations of those effects there, see? For example, like this one there, right? I'm using basically a multiple kind of what we call that like shapes to work with this kind of areas there. So what I can do from here, using the selections area there, using some of those brushes, okay, choose the colors that I want to use there, right? Using brush, soft brushes there, right? Soft round brushes, adjust the size, and then I'm going to paint slowly there, right? See? Slowly paint them up there, right? The directions of those light. We can mix them around using different kind of colors there. Okay, using different kind of colors there, right? See? To give more better kind of vibrant there, right? And then I can use lasso tool back again, alternate button there, right? Alternate button to deselect some of the areas here as the shadows areas there, right? See? So I'm selecting some of the areas there, and I've designed a pattern for this energy there, right? Copy and paste. See, we can get those kind of structures there, right? We actually can mix them around if I want to there. Okay, then I can use also multiply to add some shadows if I want to develop those kind of shadows for this particular kind of visuals there. So depending there, okay, how it works, depending how actually you're going to work with it. I can use also highlight to inverse that. Okay, so if I'm using brushes over here, so let's just say I'm going to using these soft round brushes, but have basically some strokes. So what I can do over here, add new layers there first, then adjust basically the strokes according to those areas that you want there, see? So a bit kind of imaginations, at the same times, okay, the skills there, okay, and research from those visuals that you want to create. Okay, same goes when I actually design the smokes. You can use also, alright, a flow, change the flows to adjust and design the flow smokes there, right? See, adjust the flows a little bit to design the smokes there, or clouds there, right? So there's a lot of way the guys that it works. See, mix them around there. That's basically what we can do basically to work on it. Okay. Okay, you got to get it right. You get it there?
Yeah, sir.
Okay. So it's a matter of using the right kind of way, the right kind of brush at the same time, and you actually can redraw those kind of elements there. Okay, draw those elements back again. Right? Same thing that I actually have done using basically this one there, right? I'll get this kind of effects there. See, same thing there, right? And I actually add a bit kind of highlight a bit right here. Okay. So reflections of those highlights, right? It should basically have that. For example, like this. Okay. From the glowing effects, okay, there has to be reflected there, right? Okay. Okay, that's the thing there, guys. Anyone else there have send a screen sharing there? Welcome there, right? Alright guys, anyone else there want to screen sharing? So any kind of questions, inquiries that based on our progressions over here. So next week we can make good kind of what we call the sessions there. We're going to use face-to-face sessions there, okay? Okay, face-to-face sessions, make good sessions before we're going to wrap up everything there. Alright? Okay? Add some shadings there, okay? Jinshi? Add some shadings there first. We want to see basically how actually you develop this kind of design based on your face and characters there. Okay, Zinshi? Okay, there's a lot of way basically to design these characters there, okay? Especially on the shading itself there, right? Once you have this kind of flat colors over here, you can try multiple options. One of the options is I'm going to use multiply based on the same colors, brush, then I'm going to paint that, see? Okay, where the highlight okay, and shadows there, so cover them back there. See, to choose basically the right kind of highlight and shadows really important right here. This is one of those fastest way for you to add some shadows there, right? But it will cover also with the highlight itself there, right? Okay. So the main important right now to add some highlight there, right? That's basically your challenge here right now. Add some highlight a bit there to give more better on the presentations. Okay. Highlight a bit. And shadows at the same time here. Okay. And a bit kind of reflections. See, shadows there. This one's supposed to be and highlight. Okay, need to show some highlights, some shadows, okay, right here. Okay. One of the way to work on it. The other way around. The other way around that you're right, you actually can use for examples over here, because I'm copying basically the same shapes. Okay, what I can do here, right? I actually can copy the shadows there. See, the fastest way that I actually can create. This one there, right? Okay, for examples over here. Okay, the selections of area of shadows, copy, paste. Okay, check look, okay, this is basically some rough shadows. So what I can do from here, I can multiply them, see? Multiply the shadows there, see? This is basically like a manga kind of style there, but I'm using very rough kind of what we call that style there to work. Alright, Zenshi? Okay. Add some shadows, some background there again, and work on it there, right? I want to see how actually you develop these ideas there, right? Huh? forget to add also some sort of like shadows there. Okay, otherwise it look like floating a bit there, right? Look better, but I can add some shadings over here there, okay? Properly that it works. The backgrounds, okay, has to be what we call that blended, at the same time focus more on the characters here.
Society has a death wish.
Just want to add some shadings and shadows there, okay? Alright, try to color basically, right? Try to paint basically skin tone, okay, based on the hand right first. Properly there, okay? Okay, always focus on the characters there right first. Just want to add some shadings and shadows. Make sure the characters are going to be more emphasized than the background there, right? This one doesn't have any face any yet, right? Okay, why? Afraid to draw face up. What is it at Dexter there, right? Add some shadings and shades there. Okay? Why basically the characters, okay, cut the head, okay? Why you cut the head of those characters there, right? They're supposed to be, okay, in the right kind of, not too big there, okay? There has to be a space there, okay? For you to compose the characters correctly on your structures there, right? On your layout. Add some shadings there, just like I did with those zinching that just now there, right? Add some shadings correctly. The line works look fine there. Okay? Sing Wang? How come you don't have any ideas there, right? Send it over first, okay, your progressions. Draw the foreground there, right? Apply the foreground there, right? Okay? Okay, apply the foreground correctly there, okay? This is basically your references there, right? It's not mine. So at least you have to know basically how actually you apply those kind of line works correctly there, right? Huh? Otherwise, basically you draw this one there, right? Because this basically, this references is too detailed for you, right? Too complex for you to handle that. That's basically the difference there, right? Okay, you have to choose the best kind of references, the right reference for you to work. That's basically one of it there, right? Now basically you not actually clean up your line really well there, right? You're supposed basically to develop your line works really well there. After that you can add some highlight a bit there, right? This one, what happens here? What happens here? Okay, what basically you actually can cover these areas there. You have to cover these areas there, right, Bunkai? What kind of element that you can cover there, right? You need to have those kind of ideas there, right? Okay? Because there's a lot of ideas nowadays that we actually can apply. You can put some fire effects from here, right? Fire effects there, right? How to add those fire effects there, right? Come on, guys. There's a lot of samples that we have here. Flame, right? Flame effects there, right? See? We can save as these flame effects. Okay. You guys thought work smart there, right? And even though you don't work hard there, right? Okay, you don't actually apply the hard working kind of methods there correctly. For example, you have to cover them up there, right? See? This one. I can paste right here and scale. Come on there, right? What else there? I can use this one there. Well, this one basically is not there, right? See, can cover there, right? A lot of things that we can do there, right? Your assignment also you cannot do that right correctly there. There. Can be done there, right? Develop such a way of working there. And then what we can do from here? Come on there, guys. Watermelon. Soft brushes there. See? To mix them up there, right? Let it out there, again, right? Come on there, guys, okay? Fire there, okay, for foregrounds. You can add another elements there if you want to. What else there? The line work has to be improved a lot there, okay? You can use also some flame kind of effects over here there, right? You can actually draw them. Brush. See? A lot of things that we can do, okay, from this one there. You say you didn't have any ideas there. Quite a shame there, right, okay? For young people like you guys there. All right. Add some highlight a little bit. The hairlines. You did not basically draw correctly on those line works there. That's why the problem is right now. You see there, right, Wenkai? Now, Wenkai?
Yeah.
What else that we can do from here? A lot there, guys. Okay, a lot there. Right? You guys have learned image manipulation before, right? But you not use those kind of skills. You're not using that kind of skills there, okay, for your works there. That's the problem there, right? See? You're not using your kind of skills correctly. Inverse. A lot of things that we can do there, right? You say you didn't have any ideas there. More than that, okay? More than the 5 years there, right? See? So a lot of things, okay? I developed 3 different elements there. Okay, to cover some of the areas there, using basically your image manipulation style there, guys, to work with. Pisang bakar cakul there, okay? Kevat love there, to see there, right? Huh? Alright guys, to be creative there, okay? You must be able to think differently. Okay, you must be able to think differently there, guys. You cannot actually play by the rules all the time. Okay? The rules that you play right now, basically the technical that you have learned before. But the problem is, the technical wise that you actually learn, you not basically implement back again into your design work. Okay, that's basically the problem there. That's why, even though we play jokes, we make fun of it, okay? But the serious part of this kind of process is all about think differently there, guys. And use whatever kind of experience, exposure that you guys have there, okay? Because when I was like your age, I play games a lot. I watch movie there, right, okay? And love all this kind of fun stuff about entertainment there. That's why from that particular kind of process there, okay, we actually can develop ideas, more ideas from there. And hopefully some of you guys who did, which is I actually cannot actually share most of the ideas, okay. Try to use all this kind of process of working, not the element that I use, but try to think differently there to develop into your works there. Find solution based on the reference that you have. Okay, that's one of the things that you have to go through with it. The simple kind of elements that I actually can develop from most of those ideas that together there. Okay, it can help you guys there together. So you must be able to use whatever material, styles there, techniques that you guys have learned there before into your kind of illustration works. Sometimes we want to learn new things there, but we forgot that, okay, the tools that you have learned before can be developed into your kind of ideas there. But the thing is right now, you not develop your kind of informations there visually in the right way. You not actually gather all informations there first, visually there, okay, before you develop into your works there. That's why you cannot actually expand basically your kind of imaginations. Okay? That's the difference there, guys. But of course, the main kind of point of this kind of what we call that assignments is all about to turn yourself into cartoon there first. So turn yourself into cartoon correctly. Don't just rely on the one or two ideas there. For me there, right? For me, my kind of what we call that suggestions, this one is not that interesting there for me. Okay, you need to use basically, you need to find more element that can be define your skills. Okay, to give more better kind of presentation for your works. Make it a simple kind of design. It doesn't mean that you actually can escape, okay, to develop your kind of way of to presenting your works properly there, right? Okay, because what I did basically before, this one kind of some shadings a bit, some details later on, okay? Take a look right here. It's a very simple design there, guys. But how actually I develop the ideas to blend up into this kind of background at the same times, use a multiple effects there, okay? And techniques to develop these simple illustrations were way better than what you produced just now there, right? Okay, it's a very simple kind of ideas there. You don't have to draw manga all the time there, right? You don't have to become a wannabe manga styles there. But from there, you can see the difference there, right? This one there. This one I can actually write. You guys can design at least a few minutes only. Few minutes only they write. But it doesn't show any kind of interesting, kind of what we call the approach to your design. It doesn't look interesting there. What I mean by interesting there, okay, you won't be able to have a good marks from this presentation there, right? Okay? Who is it there, right? I think this one is more better there. Okay, the ideas there, the ideas. Okay, more better there, right? This is basically from samples. This design is more better than what you produce. Add some shadings there first. Okay, shades your character first on the shadings there. Then you can merge together with your wings there. Okay. The background you can use also some gradients there, okay, to blend it up together there. Alright. Focus on your characters there first. The problem that you have normally there, okay, most people, you not basically shade your characters properly. Then you want to add more elements there, right? We can add more elements once you actually have detail on your character shadings. Okay? That's basically one of the most important things that you have to bear in mind there, right? Okay? I'm focusing on my characters there first. Before I add another elements there. Because when you add another elements, you're going to add more problems there that you have to solve. Okay, you have to solve your own problems there from there. So add more shadings, more proper shadings on your faces, on the structures itself, on the body there, okay? Based from the reference that you actually follow there, right? Then you actually can add more elements from there. Okay? Alright, Jaden. Alright, work on it first on the shadings there, right? Okay? Always use the right way to shade that. Alright, I'm focusing on my shadings there first. I already show you guys many times that works. Okay? Focus on the shadings properly. Okay? Focus on the shadings there first properly there, right? Okay? Based on the reference that we have. Alright, when you have a proper kind of visuals that you have shades that are kept properly, then basically you can actually apply a background. The background only for me, backgrounds is only a part of those supporting element for your whole illustrations. That's how you can score. Okay? Alright, anything else there?
Let's put some gravy on it. Let's put some gravy on it.
Purchase your beats now.
Okay, sir.
Kano on the track. 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 Kano on the track.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.